Hello and welcome to another episode of Simiana Swings In. I've had my hair done since we were last doing one of these, so just got that done yesterday. Yeah, this is probably the shortest my hair's been for a long time. I haven't had a fringe since I was 13, so that's kind of interesting getting used to it. Like, used to looking up like that, and yeah, I'm not used to it at all, but I'm liking it. I think it looks great. It's given a bit more body. I showed it to Autumn and she said it makes me look younger, which was always nice to hear. And it's got a bit of, I posted some pictures on my Facebook yesterday and everybody's been really positive about it. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I go to a local place called Therese, which is just it's actually part of like a medical complex of all things. Same hairstylist I've been going to for the past. I made that face twice today. I don't know why I've done that. I've been going to her since I was like 16 or 17, something like that. And yeah, I haven't had anyone else touch my hair since. So yeah, she's been with me throughout the whole process of transition and all the years where I had the massive beard, and she and my mum would have these sort of things, like trying to get me to get rid of that beard, and I liked hiding behind that big furry mask, so now it's not a problem. So yeah, that's the story of that. What else was I going to talk about? I should really plan these things before I press record, especially now I'm not editing them, I'm just putting them up as they are. So I've been applying for a lot of jobs lately. The plan is eventually to move over to the UK. That's my ultimate goal, is to be able to live and work over there. Mostly because I think that the Quagaars thing has got more of a chance of getting somewhere over there. Here we're probably, well, I know we're too weird for mainstream radio, and we're not avant-garde enough for the other side, so. What was that movement? I don't know what that was. So yeah, I think we've got a better chance over there. I think that our music is probably more suited to the British music market and all that kind of industry jargon bullshit. I don't like talking about that kind of crap because it is, it's the whole thing of marketing and branding and, I've got a lot of respect for bands like Kiss and things like that do it all. You can see I've got pictures of Ace Frehley up in the background there. Back when it was the real Kiss and not a tribute band was featuring two original members. They've done this whole thing where they've built it as a brand and, it works for them. I don't think that really works for us. I don't think that we can really think of it as, and I've done things where I follow all of these people on Facebook and YouTube and for advice and things like that, and they say, oh, you've got to think about your branding, you've got to think about this, and content, and you're a content creator, and I had an argument with Kieran, or Checkers as he is in the band. It wasn't really an argument, it was kind of a disagreement in that, it's not about content, it's about the art, and he's right, I like to try and get, as much as I like to try and get it out there as much as possible, it is still, if you're not feeling it, then you really shouldn't be forcing it. And I think there are a lot of artists out there that do that they say, okay, well, we need to have a certain amount of content out there so that they'll just keep churning out video after video, and it sort of loses something then, So I've taken a break from making the music videos for a little while. We have got something in the works, myself and Nini Cat. We're going to possibly do some kind of semi-live cross between Australia and England. We'll see how that works out. It's going to be interesting. Having two people performing in two different places is going to be interesting to see how it turns out. But yeah, that's kind of all been in the works. But back to the whole thing of applying for jobs and things like that. One thing that I think, probably every transgender person thinks about is, when I come out, is this going to affect my ability to get a job? And for me, I don't know if I can say it has or it hasn't. I struggled to get a job before I transitioned, and I'm still struggling to get a job. I've had more interviews. I don't know if that's made a difference or not, and I don't know if the fact that when I then show up to these interviews as a trans woman, and people can say, "Oh, you passed," and like kind of stuff. But people can tell, or some people can. Someone will, if it's especially if it's a group environment where you've got several people interviewing, one of them is going to say, "Well, she's tall." Well, she's got a deep voice. Or look at the size of those feet. Look at the size of those hands. Someone's going to noticed it and pointed it out to the others. So, I don't know if it's made a difference or not. I did get a job interview with JB Hi-Fi, which is a job I've been trying to get for over a decade. And, their feedback to me was I didn't show enough personality. And I don't know if I believe that or not, but it's what they said. And, it's one thing for me to say, "Oh, I didn't get the job because I'm trans." I don't know that. In a way, it's sort of, it'd be nice to sort of think that was kind of because it's like, well, then I've not done anything wrong and they're the assholes. But, it may not be that. Maybe there were just people who were better qualified. Maybe they just pulled the names out of a hat. And they just made up something about me not having enough personality. Or I didn't show enough personality in the interview. Still going to keep trying to get a job with them. I still want to work there, at least until I can get over to the UK. So I've been going through the list. There's a list of companies that can sponsor your work visa. So I've just been going through the list. It's a fucking long list. When I downloaded it, I thought this is going to be like, I don't know, 100 companies or something maybe. I haven't even got to the letter A yet. I'm still working my way through all of the symbols and numbers. Companies that have got symbols and numbers at the start of the name. One that I thought was a good, one thing I've been pleasantly surprised about, there's a lot of artistic companies, there's actually a lot of music-based companies, so I think that even if I'm just applying to them for work, I'm naturally mentioning in my application that I'm also in a band and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know, maybe something will come of it from that. One I thought was a good sign is my lucky number is 13, and there's a company called 13 Artists. And they work with all of these really big name acts. I saw Atoms for Peace was on there, which is Tom York from Radiohead's side project. And there was a whole bunch of other names on there that I recognised at the time. It was one of those things where you're just looking through, oh, they work with them, wow. But they've been the only ones to get back to me so far, and they said they haven't gotten a thing, but they'll keep me in mind, which is really cool. And there's another company, it was a record company, I can't remember where they were based, but they work with Arthur Brown, the crazy world of Arthur Brown. That's who did that song, "I Am the God of Hellfire," which would kind of be interesting to work with a company that works with him, seeing as I have used that when I used to do the wrestling videos. I must have used that song at least 2 or 3 times. Because at one point we had this wrestler whose surname was Hellfire, and so it just worked perfectly. Yeah. And I just love that song anyway. So yeah, there's been some interesting stuff there. I'm going to keep applying with those, and hopefully something will come of that, and I can move there. Nini Cat, I've already probably mentioned, she lives in Oxford. She's got a spare room, so I'll be able to live there. And my short-term thing with it is I want to sort of maybe do 6 months here, 6 months there, and sort of do that, sort of alternating for say 4 or 5 years, and then eventually, because my mum's plan is to move to a town called Ballarat, which is like a 3-hour drive from here. So when she's moving there, I'll move full-time overseas and come back here for, it kind of works out because her birthday is on the 3rd of January. So I figure if I come back each year for sort of Christmas, New Year's, her birthday, it all sort of works out nicely, and I can sort of get it all in together. So that's sort of my goals for life at the moment. I don't know how many or if any will happen or I'll pull any of them off, but that's kind of where my mind is at the moment. I'm still continuing with gymnastics. I actually had to take a week off because I was sick. It's the first time in a year that I'd had any time off. I've gone every lesson, every session for this year, and No, it was good to actually kind of good to have the time off because I'd had a few injuries, just minor things, but it was nice to have a rest. But then the week after that, I was finally ready to go back on the Tuesday. So I'd been to the Monday class. On the Tuesday, I was pulled over, and I had for my car being, because it was just a random test. I was just doing it near where I live, and they were doing roadworthy checks, and it turned out I had 2 bald tires, and one of my rear brake lights was out. And of course, I've started driving last year. I don't know about these sort of things. I looked at the tires and I thought, they've got tread on them, they're fine, but they'd worn out at the edges of it, and apparently that's a sign that there wasn't enough air pressure or something. So, $900 later, thanks Mom for bailing me out on that again. I now owe her $11,000 between that and the dodgy builders. Express homes, or scumbag homes as Autumn calls them. She even made up a logo with a bag in some pond scum and wrote "scumbag homes" on it. Unfortunately, they've gone out. Well, I don't know. It's kind of fortunate and unfortunate that they've gone bankrupt, because it means that they can never do this to anyone else. But at the same time, there's sort of never going to be any retribution and whatever. But it is what it is. So yeah, between being in debt, looking for work, still pushing the band, we've started working on the next album, which at the moment it's had the working title Project Nomad for a while. I don't know why. It was a name I came up with. It's going to be Project something. I think that came from watching, there was a show, Orphan Black. It finished last year or the year before. And that had Project Leader and Project Caster. And I was obsessed with the show at the time, and I just sort of thought Project something is going to sound good. And I think I googled it, and there is something else called Project Nomad, so maybe it won't be Nomad. And Kevin Borich has an album called Nomad anyway, so it's probably... And there's like that David Bowie video game, Omicron, the Nomad Soul, or something like that. It's been done, so maybe it won't be that, or maybe it will. I don't know. I've written 2 songs for it. One's called Vlad the Impaler. That's kind of one of the more out there songs I've written. And another one was... I wrote the other one and I scrapped it, so I'm not going to talk about that one. But then again, I might rework it later, but we'll see. So yeah, anyway, this video has been nearly 13 minutes long. I only intended to come on here to do maybe 8 to 10 minutes, so yeah, it means I've been rambling again. So thank you for watching, and we'll see each other next time, or however that works.